Some people walk through life without noticing much. They laugh easily. They trust quickly. They sleep peacefully. But then there are people who notice everything. The slight change in someone's voice. The fake smile. The hidden tension in a room. The text that feels different. A young woman walks into a family dinner. Everyone is smiling. Everyone is laughing. But within seconds, she senses something is wrong. No one says a word. Yet somehow, she already knows there's a secret nobody is talking about. People call her an overthinker. Too sensitive. Too dramatic. But what if she isn't imagining things? What if she's simply too aware? Today, we're exploring the hidden psychology of people who notice what everyone else misses, and why awareness can sometimes feel more like a burden than a gift. They notice tiny changes that everyone else misses. Have you ever looked at someone and thought, something feels different, even though everyone else says they're acting completely normal? A young woman met her best friend for coffee, just like they had every weekend for years. Her friend smiled. She laughed. She said, "Everything's fine." To everyone else, nothing seemed unusual. But the young woman noticed something almost invisible. The smile disappeared a second too quickly. The laughter sounded forced. Her friend avoided eye contact for just a moment. The excitement in her voice was gone. On the way home, she couldn't stop thinking about it. Did something happen? Is she hiding something? A week later, her friend finally admitted she had been struggling with depression for months. Nobody else had noticed, but somehow, she did. Psychologists say highly aware people naturally detect tiny changes in facial expressions, tone of voice, body language, and behavior. Their brain is constantly collecting small details and quietly connecting them into a bigger picture. They don't just hear what people say. They notice how they say it. They notice the pause before the answer, the forced smile, the eyes that seem a little more tired than yesterday, the message that suddenly feels colder than usual. But this gift comes with a hidden cost. When you notice everything, you carry things that other people never even see. You sense tension before anyone admits there's a problem. You feel distance before a relationship begins to fade. You recognize pain long before someone asks for help. Sometimes, people tell you, you're overthinking, you're imagining things, and sometimes they're right. But other times, your awareness allows you to see silent battles hidden behind ordinary faces. The hardest part isn't noticing these changes. It's realizing that not everyone is ready to talk about them. Because the people who notice the smallest changes are often the ones carrying the biggest emotional weight. They see what others miss. They feel what others ignore. And sometimes, that awareness becomes both their greatest gift and their heaviest burden. They read between every line. Some people listen to your words, but others listen to your silence. A young man called his mother one evening. He smiled and said, "I'm doing great." His words sounded positive, but there was a long pause before he answered. His voice felt heavier than usual. His laughter sounded forced. When the call ended, his mother quietly said, "Something isn't right." A few days later, he admitted he had been struggling for months. He never asked for help, but somehow, she already knew. Psychologists say highly aware people don't just hear what others say. They notice how it's said. The hesitation before an answer. The smile that doesn't reach the eyes. The message that suddenly feels colder. The silence where there used to be excitement. Their mind is constantly reading between the lines, searching for emotions hidden behind words. But this ability comes with a price. Because when you notice what others don't, you also carry feelings that were never spoken aloud. Sometimes people tell you, you're reading too much into it. And sometimes they're right. But other times, the truth was hidden in the silence all along. Because the deepest messages are rarely spoken. They're felt. And those who read between every line often understand people's hearts long before people are ready to reveal them. They overthink because they see too many possibilities. One choice, 100 different outcomes. A young man receives a great job offer. Instead of feeling excited, he starts thinking, what if a better opportunity comes later? What if I fail? What if I make the wrong decision? Hours pass, but he still can't decide. Psychologists say highly aware people often overthink because they can see possibilities that others never notice. Their mind explores every outcome, every risk, every what if. But while they're searching for the perfect decision, life quietly keeps moving. Sometimes, the greatest opportunity isn't choosing perfectly. It's having the courage to choose at all. They feel emotionally exhausted around fake people. Not everyone drains your energy. Some people drain your peace. A young woman spends an evening with a group of friends. Everyone is smiling, complimenting each other. But the moment one person leaves, the gossip begins. The smiles disappear. The kindness turns into criticism. She goes home feeling exhausted, not because she talked too much, but because she felt too much. Psychologists say highly aware people quickly notice when someone's words don't match their actions. Their mind constantly senses emotional inconsistency, and that silent tension becomes mentally draining. Sometimes, they don't avoid people. They avoid pretending. Because genuine people bring them peace, but fake people quietly steal their energy. They struggle to trust their own mind. The hardest person to believe is sometimes yourself. A young man notices his friend acting differently. The replies are shorter. The smile feels forced. His instincts tell him something isn't right. But then another thought appears. Maybe I'm just overthinking. So he ignores his feelings. Days later, he discovers his friend had been silently struggling all along. Psychologists say highly aware people notice countless small details, but because they notice so much, they often question their own instincts. They don't just ask, "What's happening?" They ask, "Can I trust what I'm feeling?" Sometimes, the greatest battle isn't with the outside world. It's with the voice inside your head that keeps saying, "Maybe you're wrong." And that's why awareness becomes a burden. When you stop trusting the person who notices it, they often feel lonely in a crowded room. You can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. A young woman attends a party filled with laughter, music, and conversation. Everyone seems happy. Everyone seems connected. Yet as she stands in the middle of the room, she feels like she doesn't belong. She smiles when people talk to her. She joins the conversations, but deep down, she feels disconnected from everyone around her. Psychologists say highly aware people often crave deeper connections than most casual conversations can provide. While others enjoy talking about trends, gossip, or everyday events, they long to talk about fears, dreams, meaning, life. And when those conversations never happen, loneliness quietly grows. The strange thing is, their loneliness isn't caused by being alone. It's caused by feeling unseen. Because sometimes, the deepest kind of loneliness isn't sitting in an empty room. It's standing in a crowded one, wondering if anyone truly understands who you are. They can't easily turn their mind off. The day may be over, but their mind is just getting started. A young man lies in bed after a long day. The room is quiet. The lights are off. But inside his head, the noise never stops. He replays conversations, questions his decisions, imagines tomorrow's problems before they even happen. The more he tries to sleep, the more awake his mind becomes. Psychologists say highly aware people often have minds that are constantly scanning, analyzing, and connecting patterns. Even when their body is exhausted, their thoughts refuse to rest. Sometimes, the greatest source of exhaustion isn't a busy day. It's a busy mind. Because the hardest part of being highly aware isn't noticing everything, it's not knowing how to stop noticing. And sometimes, the peace they search for isn't found in sleeping more. It's found in finally giving their mind permission to be still. They secretly wish they could stop thinking. What if the thing people admire most about you is the very thing that quietly exhausts you? A young woman sits by her bedroom window late at night. The city is asleep. The room is silent. But inside her mind, questions never stop. She analyzes every conversation, every mistake, every possibility. She doesn't want more answers anymore. She just wants one moment of peace. Psychologists say highly aware people often have minds that are constantly processing information. Their brain searches for patterns, meaning, and hidden details, even when there's nothing left to solve. To others, they seem intelligent, thoughtful, wise, but deep inside, they're simply tired. Tired of analyzing every word, every emotion, every what if. Sometimes, they don't wish they were smarter. They wish they could experience life without questioning every little detail. Because the greatest luxury isn't knowing everything. It's having a mind that's quiet enough to enjoy the present. And perhaps the strongest people aren't the ones who think the most. They're the ones who finally learn when to let their thoughts go. If you've always felt different, if people have called you too sensitive, too observant, or an overthinker, maybe you aren't broken. Maybe your mind simply notices more than most. Awareness is a powerful gift. It helps you see beauty others overlook. It helps you understand people on a deeper level. But it also comes with a responsibility. Don't let awareness become anxiety. Don't spend so much time analyzing life that you forget to live it. Some questions don't need immediate answers. Some moments don't need to be explained. Sometimes, peace begins the moment you stop trying to understand everything. If this video helped you understand yourself, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more deep psychology videos. And before you leave, question for the comments: do you think being highly aware is a gift or a burden, and why?